Can HR force you to participate in an exit interview? It's a question that I've gotten more than a few times here at Over 50 TV, and the answer is always the same. No, they cannot force you to participate in an exit interview unless you've signed a contract that specifically states you'll participate in one of those sit downs that for the most part are a waste of time. We're going to talk about exit interviews. I'm going to give you some tips and reasons why I believe you shouldn't participate in one of those things. And also what I'll do is if you find yourself for some reason you find yourself sitting down with an HR person and you're doing one of those exit interviews, I'm going to tell you what you shouldn't do. And that's up next right here on Over 50 TV. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Well, at the top of this program, I answered the question, can a company force an employee to participate in an exit interview? And certainly they cannot force an employee to do that. They can ask, and what we know is 90% of Fortune 500 companies 90% do ask employees to participate in one of those sit downs. I often wonder if that information is ever really used. Does it ever really affect change at that organization? Now, some of you have already made your feelings known about exit interviews. I've gotten over 243,000 views on a video that I did called Why You Should Never Do an Exit Interview When You're Over 50. And out of those 243,000 views, close to 1,700 people commented, and the comments regarding exit interviews were definitely not positive. So we've gotten some feedback already, but I'd like to get some feedback from you if you had done one and you saw that it actually resulted in change and it was just not a PR ploy by the company that you were working for. There are three reasons participating in an exit interview is not in your best interest. And I would say number one is it really benefits the employer more than it benefits you as the employee. Number two, it doesn't guarantee the fact that you're participating in this exit interview. It doesn't guarantee that any changes will be made. And number three, it creates the possibility that what you say, the information that you give, that your name may be connected to that information, to the information that you shared with the HR folks. So to me, those three reasons alone are good reasons why you should never do an exit interview. So how do you decline an exit interview? Well, I would ask you or will ask you to consider these three steps. Number one, just simply say, I decline to do the exit interview, or I prefer not to. Now, when you do that, be sure that you keep your refusal free from any personal remarks, no negative language that will show emotion whatsoever. But above all, I will suggest this. I will say, do not feel pressured. Keep something in mind, as I mentioned in the very beginning of this episode. You're not required to participate in an exit interview. If you decide that you want to do one, if that's an option that you decide, well, that is something that you'll do. And then I will ask you to follow these three steps. Speak from prepared notes. Before you go into that exit interview, write down what you want to say. And I would keep it to maybe 3 sentences, 4 sentences, but just key points, things that you feel that you want to bring up. But number two, when you do that, I'd also make sure be extra careful and avoid any kind of an emotional statement. After all, you do want to leave on I would say you want to leave on as good a note as possible. If you've made that decision that you want to participate or you're going to participate in an exit interview, leave on as good of a note as possible and avoid any kind of an emotional statement. Now, I've gotten many people who have written me, and I mentioned we got almost 1,700 comments on the one video that we did. But I've had many people tell me that they wanted to just let them have it. They wanted to just basically rage against that HR person. And I've always believed, and I know for sure, and I ask you to think about this, it's really almost not the HR person's fault. Or I should say it's not the HR person's fault. It's the company policy, it's management policy. If you're not happy with the job, blaming HR is you're just taking it out on them, and maybe that's all the only thing that you can do. But I would, without question, avoid any kind of an emotional statement whatsoever. Number three, keep it short. Just keep your exit interview as short as possible. Maybe the HR person, as you're sitting across from them, maybe they're going to want to keep asking you question after question. And I would just stick to your prepared notes as you answer. And if it's anything that's beyond the prepared notes that you have, I would just say, I need to think about that, or let me give it some thought. But keep it short, speak from prepared notes, and above all, avoid any kind of an emotional statement. So I've just answered the question, can HR force you to participate in an exit interview? And as I mentioned in the very, very beginning of this video, absolutely, positively, HR cannot force you to do an exit interview, and neither can management. That includes your immediate supervisor, it includes corporate heads. You are not required to participate in an exit interview unless, and I have that caveat, unless you were one of those people that signed an agreement, a contract prior to taking the job, or at some point in the job you signed an agreement saying, yes, I'm going to participate in an exit interview. I see no reason to do one. I don't see a benefit. There is no benefit to you as an employee. But at the same time, I can see, without question, I can see that if you're working for a larger company, or a company where you don't think that it will benefit the people that you're leaving behind, you see no benefit to you, because after all, you're leaving, then why do an exit interview? Well, that's all I got for you today, folks. I will ask you, I haven't so far, but I will ask you to please subscribe to Over 50 TV. You can do that just by hitting the little red button. There's a button underneath the screen, and it just says subscribe, so please go ahead and hit that. There's also a little bell. If you smash that little bell, if you hit that little bell, every single time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Well, as I always say, have a great day, everybody.